Coming up, we go inside SAM 27000, Ronald Reagan's Air Force One, behind the scenes of the night air show. One performer goes above and beyond to wow the crowds, and a sleek new design from Diamond Aircraft. AOPA Live this week begins in just a moment.
The dream is real, a truly affordable personal jet aircraft. The Subsonics kit is priced at only $42,000. Kit plus engine is still under $100K. Add instruments, upholstery, and paint and you're flying at sonicsaircraft.com.
In a little more than 2 weeks, you're going to be able to fly without a third-class medical. Hello and welcome to AOPA Live this week. I'm Tom Haynes. Melissa Rudinger, well, she's down doing some of that regulatory stuff she does in D.C. AOPA has been working on medical reform for a long time. Even the feds are really on board. Just one final checkoff and everything will be good to go.
OMB has this form right now, and when we issued this basic med rule back in January, we kind of made a bet that the 4 months that we allocated between January 10th and May 1st was going to be enough time for all this stuff to happen. And it's happening on target so far. We think they will prove it on time because the stakes are high, and we know they're looking at it. I feel good that this form is going to be available, and when it is, it'll be on fa.gov/go/basicmed within minutes.
You can bet the forms will be on AOPA's Fit to Fly pages within minutes too. Click on Basic Med at the top of the page, and we'll turn on AOPA's Basic Med education course the moment OMB gives the final approval.
Like, dig into it and understand those themes. I've seen the AOPA course and it's awesome. And it's awesome just sort of on general principles, not just for the purposes that we're going to use it for. So when you're taking the course, you know, read and understand what you're listening to. It's good stuff.
You can watch that full presentation from Sun and Fun on AOPALive.org. We also have a Basic Med webinar featuring our own medical and legal experts in our Fit to Fly resources. And speaking of Sun and Fun, it was a record-breaking show. According to Sun and Fun organizers, this year was the highest attended show to date, and we enjoyed the chance to meet many of you in person. The big news out of Sun and Fun is the continued release of products from the experimental market that can now be installed in certified airplanes. The STC Group announced it received approval for a kit to install Trio autopilots into Cessna 172s and 182s. The approval sets a positive precedent for non-TSO'd projects. The STC process, which can take years, only took 5 months.
We've got a group of folks at the directorate level that are really behind this effort. It's going to be much easier. I would say in the next 12 months you're going to see a big change in the way that products are certified.
The Trio is a full-featured digital autopilot. Using an input from a GPS, it'll fly a course or a heading. It can climb or descend at pilot-selected rates of climb and level off at the selected altitude. It also includes a button to level the airplane if the pilot loses control. A 180-degree feature will turn the airplane around and fly it out of dangerous weather encounters. Total cost for the required equipment for the autopilot expected to be around $7,000. The company expects to have the installation kits available for purchase in May. Level Aviation debuted 2 really creative new products that could also find their way into certified airplanes soon. The first product is called the Bomb, a self-contained device that displays a full avionics panel on your tablet.
We basically reimagine avionics, and this is the easiest way to incorporate an angle of attack system, your pitot-static, your AHRS, basically all your 6-pack GPS navigation ADS-B into a self-powered device.
The Bomb powers itself with a small air turbine that feeds a battery. It then uses Wi-Fi to transmit the information to an Android or iOS device. The unit requires no wiring and installs onto an inspection panel. The Bomb is currently for experimental aircraft, but NORCE approval for certified airplanes is pending. Cost is $1,150 with ADS-B, $995 without. And the second product from Level is called the Beacon, a self-contained ADS-B in and out solution.
This is Level's take on what ADS-B out should be, simple and affordable. We basically put all the electronics inside the antenna, the ADS-B antenna. So by installing your antenna, you have your ADS-B out solution.
The antenna contains the WASH GPS, a transponder decoder, and a pressure sensor. That means the only installation needed is power and a GPS antenna. Right now, the beacon is for experimental airplanes with plans to add certified airplanes in the future. Cost for the beacon is $950 with the GPS and $750 without. Be exciting to see those become available in certified airplanes if we can get that done. Meanwhile, PS Engineering showed off its new audio panels at Sun and Fun. The PMA 450A and 8000G are plug-and-play with Garmin's GMA 340, so the only installation required is removing and replacing the old audio panel.
Even though the PMA 450A is plug and play, you get a lot of bells and whistles that you couldn't get before, like the Intel audio, 3D audio, like the built-in digital recorder, like the IntelliVox auto squelch intercom, the USB charging port. Those are all new features that come with the newer audio panels.
PS Engineering dropped the price on several of their plug-and-play models, and they are offering a flight trial period to encourage owners of legacy audio panels to upgrade. Find the details on their websites. And one airplane at Sun and Fun that got a lot of attention was the Radical by Murphy Aircraft out of Canada. The new Super Stol design includes a custom bike rack under the wing. The design will allow for the ultimate adventure of flying out into the wilderness and then mountain biking. The Radical is an experimental home built and will take up to a 220 horsepower engine. And one of the big crowd pleasers at Sun and Fun is the night air show. Performers spend hours equipping their airplanes with pyrotechnics to light up the night sky. AOPA Live's Josh Cochran has the story of one of those performers, Dan Buchanan, who flies a beautiful night routine in a hang glider.
With the crackle of pyrotechnics coming off his hang glider, Dan Buchanan has been wowing crowds for decades.
I've always been in love with hang gliders. That's been the one norm all the way through.
So much so that after he injured his spine in a hang gliding accident, there's no question that he would keep flying.
Well, it wasn't really a decision to keep flying. It was just another one of my many activities that I do anyway.
Dan loves flying so much he quit his Silicon Valley engineering job to bring his performance to spectators across the country. And it takes hours to prep for each show.
We have it down to 2.5 hours of preparation per minute of show.
When Dan rigs the glider, he is careful to keep the pyro a safe distance away from the Dacron wing.
Most of the stuff is several feet away from the fabric, and it's all downwind. I'd have to stop my forward speed for it to reach the wing. And if I stop my forward speed, I've got other problems going on.
Dan also performs a day show, where he pretends to mistakenly launch during the middle of an aerobatic airplane performance. The aerobatic airplane then tries to chase him out of the sky. For his two shows, Dan drives tens of thousands of miles across the country, showing his passion for performing. Josh Cochran, AOPA Live.
Thanks, Josh. Really good stuff. When Dan is not performing, he spends his time flying gliders, racing ATVs in the desert, or scuba diving. Sounds like maybe he needs one of those Murphy airplanes. Coming up after the break, touring the Gipper's jet and a speedy electric extra breaks a bunch of world records.
The smoke is on. Perfect start. He's putting on the pressure. What a dramatic finale.
The Red Bull Air Race World Championship returns to San Diego Bay, April 15th and 16th. And play Red Bull Air Race, the game.
There'll be a new fuel provider on Santa Monica Airport this Sunday. After 11 years of serving pilots at Santa Monica, American Flyers stopped fighting its eviction notice from the city. The FBO and the flight school will close its doors for the last time on Saturday. But the next day, the Aeroplex Aero Lease Group will take over the self-fueling operation, ensuring the continued availability of avgas at Santa Monica. The city reluctantly made an agreement with the FAA to continue operating the airport until the close of 2028. At the same time as Sun and Fun, Europe hosted its biggest general aviation event, Aero Friedrichshafen in Germany. Last year we told you about the Extra 330 LE, the aerobatic airplane powered with a Siemens electric motor. This year at Aero, the airplane won awards for breaking several world records. The Extra broke the speed record for electric airplanes, a time to climb record, and became the first electric airplane to tow a glider. Siemens believes the engine could be used to power a hybrid electric regional airliner in the future. And Siemens wasn't the only company talking about hybrid technology. Equator Aircraft debuted its P-2 Excursion, a hybrid amphibious airplane. The P2 uses a generator to charge the battery and power an electric motor. The unique design uses the wing to add stability in the water. Diamond Aircraft didn't want to be left out either. They showed off a new design, the DA50-5. The model shown is powered by a 260-horse Safran diesel engine. The airplane had its first flight a few weeks ago. In addition to the 5-seat model at the show, the DA50 will also come in 4- and 7-seat configurations. Serial production expected to start in 2018. Now, part of what is driving all the innovation in Europe and in the U.S. is aircraft certification reform. At the beginning of Aero, the European Aviation Safety Agency said their new consensus-based standards will go into effect at the same time as the FAA's new Part 23 standards this August. Hopefully lots of new airplanes coming out of those moves. Well, hey, most of us feel like we never do get enough sleep. Yet we all should know that a well-rested pilot is a safer pilot. In the latest edition of Fly Well, Dr. Jonathan Sakier offers some guidance.
Liberty, provided by nourishing sleep, is essential to pursue health and happiness. This is no sham guidance, just GPS coordinates to the land of Nod.
You can find Dr. Sakier's full video report on AOPALive.org. The AOPA Camarillo Regional Fly-In is coming up. Join us in Ventura, California on April 28th and 29th. The Camarillo Airport is nestled up the Pacific coast from LA. The airport is surrounded by strawberry fields and is seated between the Tapatapa Mountains and the Santa Monica Mountains. AOPA Live's Paul Harrop found out that a pretty surrounding is not the only thing to go see if you fly in.
I'm learning they call it the Golden State for a reason. Take a look at this panorama behind me. My goodness, this is beautiful. All these views can be yours if you join us for an excursion from the AOPA Camarillo Regional Fly-In. We're going to go inside that building, which houses a piece of American history. Inside this beautiful building is one of the most iconic biz jets of all time. Its official name is SAM 27000, but when President Ronald Reagan was on board, this modified 707-320B was known as Air Force One. The stately bird is on display for you to tour at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library and Center for Public Affairs. We'll have 2 trips to the library on Friday, April 28th, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. You'll be able to see the jet just as it was when the Gipper delivered his iconic speech at the Berlin Wall.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
If you crave more modern military might, may we suggest an excursion to Naval Air Station Point Mugu. You'll be able to get up close and personal with the aircraft and personnel who serve our country out of Naval Base Ventura County. You'll get to see the X-30 unmanned aerial system, the E-2C Hawkeye, and even C-130s. There's a small cost and some restrictions apply. You'll want to check out the AOPA Fly-In website for all the details and to register for either of the excursions. So whether you head to Point Mugu and experience coastal Ventura County or come with us here to Simi Valley to the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library for a look at SAM 27000 in person, there's plenty to do around the AOPA Camarillo Regional Fly-In. I hope you'll make your plans. From Simi Valley, California, Paul Harrop, AOPA Live.
Thanks, Paul. As you heard in the story, there are some restrictions on the Point Mugu trip. It's for people 13 and older. It's not handicapped accessible. No photographs will be allowed, and you're going to want to wear comfy shoes. Find all the details on our website, and if you haven't been to the Reagan Library, I highly recommend it. It is a great experience. Beautiful to see that airplane in that setting. Hey, that's it for this edition. Thanks for spending part of your week with us. Like what you see? Tell all your friends to watch too. Join us again next Thursday for another AOPA Live This Week.
Breitling, instruments for professionals.